You know, I hate to pick on my former quote-unquote employer Intel Hub, who deleted all my articles when I actually began to question them and their tactics and their strategy and how they operated. You know, and I've been watching for the last 2-3 days with Isaac. If you look around on Facebook and YouTube, there's video after video of the chemtrailing and the aerosol manipulation of this giant. What do they got here? There may be mandatory evacuation. See, they won't address. See, they'll give you a little bit good, but it's not going all the way. Now, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to show you actual footage of them manipulating, spraying the chemtrails before the hurricane. Then I'll show you the HARP readout, and I give you a number of detailed screen captures where I show where the hurricane was, how they moved it, when they applied the chemtrails, and everything. So this is why I quit working for the Intel Hub. They can delete it all they want. I quit long before that when I found out they were deleting my stuff and manipulating my articles. And again, is Alex Jones talking about the aerosol manipulation of Isaac? Because there's nothing in here. There's nothing an Intel Hub sure ain't going to cover. Let's go to Prison Planet and see what the Alex Jones team has to say about the aerosol manipulation of Isaac. I cataloged it, folks. It's online. I got 2 videos up. I'm not the only one. There's a bunch of videos on it, but as you'll see, quote unquote, alternative media. Okay, see, he's going to give you why in the world are they spraying, right? That's, come on, man. It's better than nothing, I suppose, but don't you realize that this whole hurricane was just freaking aerosol engineered from start and still doing it now? There's nothing in here on that. Again, like I say, so this again proves my theory. They give you something, a little tasty treat. Why in the world are they spraying? But you're not going to get up to date on this Isaac. People need to know that Isaac was engineered all the way through. How many of these hurricanes are we going to let them engineer before we bring it to attention of the American public that they are artificially manipulating these weather systems and weather patterns, and they're doing it on a regular basis? And with hurricanes, it's damn dangerous, because when you intensify a hurricane, folks, it's already bad enough. It was bad enough. So when they don't, let's go to natural news. I'm sure Mike Adams is probably raging all over the aerosol manipulation of Isaac. From start to finish, even down in Haiti, I captured screen captures from atmos.washington.edu of the chicken scratching, cross-hatching down east and southeast of Haiti. And that's why Haiti got hit. They got it in for Haiti, believe me. Okay, let's see what we got here. Top stories. Industry, eliminate gout. Fresh produce. Nah. Hurricane Isaac reminds Americans to stay prepared with a bug-out bag. Again, I rest my case. I fucking rest my case. I will talk about the 5,000 child porn downloaders in the Pentagon. I will talk about the 7,800 veterans who have had radio frequency chips implanted in their brain without their knowledge, and they're suing the CIA. I will talk about the aerosol manipulation of Hurricane Isaac. I will talk about how the whole election process was manipulated from start to finish, and Ron Paul was the carrot in front of the donkey. Now everybody's bailing out. No one's going to vote for Romney, and Obama's going to hand it back to him again. I will talk about Alex Jones won't mention the NRC FOIA documents that proves a multi-agency conspiracy. They could have used this against Obama to unseat Obama, and everyone has sat by idly while this continues. I'm going to continue to make these statements. I'm going to continue to log it into YouTube for the record, because if it's a year from now or 2 years from now, I don't know how long it's going to be before people realize what I've discovered. Okay, and that is that the alternative media is by and large co-opted. They are not giving you the hard news and the hard facts. Man, because I've been able to document the chemtrailing, and I've posted up. And again, like I say, when I really started writing about serious stuff, what happened? They manipulated my articles. They removed words and sentences out of my articles. And that's why I quit working for them. Because I discovered when I reported on a really serious topic, not the bullshit topics, they have a whole slew of topics. They don't care if you write about the USS Liberty till you're blue in the face. You can write about 9/11 till you're blue in the face. It don't matter anymore about them things. You got to stay on top of the current event that you can prove in a court of law, and that was the NRC FOIA documents, man. It's on multi-agency, man. There's hundreds of motherfuckers need to be in jail right now. Children died from the fallout, and the alternative media is going to sit by idle. Well, you know, again, I say, if you read my articles, you'll know that Alex Jones was forced into having to do something, because I kept writing articles that he wouldn't report on it. So finally they did. You know, when they did report on it, it was the bottom of a 3-part article, and the top part was on number 4 unit in Fukushima is about to collapse, and we're all going to die. Took the wind out of my whole thing, which is a giant multi-agency conspiracy, the one that JFK talked about. Hey, you know what? If the sheep don't care about it, if the alternative media sheep don't care about it, and make no mistake, there's 3 herds, folks. There are 3 herds. I'm going to finish with this one. The first herd is the mainstream media herd. They got them. They're fooled all the time. All the people all the time. They're fooled all the time. They love that. They eat it up. They mainstream media. Diane Sawyer, please tell me how the world is, please. The second group they've discovered is the ones who are shunning mainstream media. They think they're enlightened. They think they're open-minded. They go to the alternative media and they give them a little bit of good stuff, but they withhold a whole lot. And I'm going to tell you what, they'll tell you stuff like Jones will say, well, the chemtrail stuff is coming out of the engines. It's in the fuel. No, it's not. It's not. And those little things like that, like Alex Jones will say, the 5,200 child porn downloaders, you know what he said? Maybe they're being blackmailed. You know what? Let me tell you, try to blackmail me with child porn and see what happens. Try that. Try it. So these are how they get away with it. Now, there's a third group of sheep. And those are the ones off to the side who are looking in at both of these propaganda outlets, the mainstream, the big one, 99.9% bullshit, the alternative media, a little bit smaller, 75% good stuff, 25% bullshit, a whole lot what they won't even friggin' talk about, and then a tiny 1 to 3% on the outside looking in and saying, it's all controlled. The voting system's a joke. The alternative media's a joke. The mainstream media's a joke. This whole fucking country is a joke, all right? And I rest my case on that, man. If they can't report on the aerosol engineering of Isaac like myself and dozens of others on YouTube have, the alternative media is toast. It is toast, folks. Over and out. Aerosol disbursement up there. It's total artificial cover, and you can see that line streaking across the sky. They're out. This is just before the hurricane is coming in, and so they're definitely, this is heavy spray day today, and we're going to pay attention to the telecast and watch and see what effect that this aerosol engineering is going to have on this hurricane, because make no mistake, there's a reason they're spraying ahead of the hurricane. They are going to manipulate it. They could break it up if the Republicans want it broken up, or they can intensify it if that's what Obama wants. And we're going to keep a close eye on it. Okay, folks, we're shooting again. HatrickPenry, it's the 26th. What you're looking at right there is complete nano mist, aerosol mist. It's to the east. We're in central Florida. Remember, Tampa would be on the west coast of Florida. And so we're seeing to the east. We're seeing it. Let me move where we can see. Okay, here you go. Look at that streak across the sky. Try to keep the sun out of this. But all that mist behind, they've been busy all night and they've created an entire artificial layer of nanoparticulates. This is ahead of the hurricane, Isaac or whatever it's named. I'm not even sure right now. But I'm going to go back on telecast and we're going to keep an eye. They're spraying to the east, they're spraying to the north, and they're spraying a little bit south. That is all artificial mist, nanoparticulates. None of that is real. And again, this is pretty serious because just the volume of nanoparticulates that is being dispersed into the air, it has to come down somewhere. And we're getting reports in Texas and other states where heavy metal damage to the roots of crops is indeed causing a major crop failure, and that's part of it. It's the drought, it's the heavy metal particulates that are landing in the soil, landing on the plants. And we're in serious trouble, folks, because whatever this is for, it is going to cause a global food shortage crisis of epic proportions, and we're right on the cusp of that right now. Okay, that's it, folks. HatrickPenry, over and out. Okay, here comes a pair of them going north to south. Could be launching out of Jacksonville, I don't know. He's laying his streak north, going in the direction. His vector is north to south here. Look, I'm streaking right over that antenna right now. And there's another one right behind him. Again, they're heavy hitting it in front of the sun too. And if you look again, this is all aerosol mist. None of this around here, none of this in the sky. All that right there, that is not real. That is metal, metallic nanoparticulates, folks. And so here we are, another tubing. They are really going at it this morning. I'm going to try to post this up today so people can see ahead of the RNC. They are doing aerosol climate weather modification. And to what effect that's going to be, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. It's laying it out right there, folks. Over the skies of Florida. Hot enough, no ice crystals form up there, the clouds would be frozen too, man. That's bullshit. Okay, pretty clear one right there. I'm showing that piece right there that goes up because they sprayed it, and then as we spent time circling around town, it's begun to rise up in the atmosphere. It's forming a column is what it's doing. So a lot of times they'll do an initial spray to see what the reaction is. They input the data and then they come back and make adjustments from there. And that particular one, I'm thinking as it's rising from, you know, lower level to a higher level, that's what's going on. They may be actually lifting the ionosphere, lifting the ceiling. And if you think about it, that might pull that freaking hurricane on shore more. And we're going to keep a close eye on this one. No doubt about it. Try to keep the sun out of the picture, but you can see all those streaks across the sky right now. They're hitting it up hard in front of the sun to the east. The sun shows it's a black thing. This might not come out, but you got to try to show what's going on over there. Spraying, spraying, spraying. Yeah, 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 yeah. Weak. Weak. Fucking weak. Weak, man. That is fucking weak. To all the authorities, weak. You guys suck, man. That's it. You suck. Now, I'm gonna document it all, Obama. This is for you and your little aerosol engineering campaign. Spraying the little children with your nanoparticulates of barium and strontium. Meanwhile, on the University of Florida campus, they say, no smoking now. We've outlawed smoking on campus. You can't smoke a cigarette or cigar. But they can spray you with strontium and barium. Okay? They can spray you with strontium and barium, and the EPA turns off the RadNet monitors when the Fukushima fallout comes. So, again, I say, this government is going beyond corrupt. They're beyond corrupt now, man. They've abused it. They raped their chance, man. They didn't abuse it. They freaking raped it. They tortured and raped their chance, man. Why do we acknowledge them as our authority anymore? The people that won't tell us when radiation fallout is coming and keep spraying strontium and barium over our heads. Sick, man. So due to that hurricane and the RNC, folks, again, this is RNC engineering, weather engineering before the Republican National Convention, folks. Now, I am documenting it. Bill Quinlan, if you'll notice, that's not very high up, and it's not dissipating, okay? That's not ice crystals, man. God, the guy's a damn fool. Bill Quinlan of TV20. I know he's AMA and NWS certified, but what is the American Meteorological Association when they don't talk about geoengineering? What is the National Weather Service when they won't talk about geoengineering and nanoparticulates and the number 3 leading cause of death, which is now respiratory illness? And I say to you folks, why do we continue to acknowledge them as our authority, right? Because it's only because the sheep will get up every day and follow their orders and instructions as they've been socially automated to do, that we continue to have nanoparticulates sprayed against our will. And if the sheep knew about it and were educated, I'm sure they wouldn't want it. It's not to our advantage as the peons of the world. It does nothing for us. We have no gain. We gain nothing from this engineering at all. It's the people who bet on commodities and weather trading. Those guys are cashing in right now. And if you know where there's going to be drought, you can bet that the crops are going to fail and make a killing, folks. And that's what it's all about. Anyway, we're in front of Pat's Quick Stop, Gainesville, Florida. Over now.
You see it?
Yeah, there's a straight up and down one right there, folks.
It's going right now, too.
Am I getting it?
Now that's in the northwest horizon.
That's a higher altitude there too, whatever. See where it stops and then sputters and starts again. Now, Alex Jones says it's in the fuel, but that's impossible because you're expecting to believe his engine, his actual jet engine sputtered just like a car would sputter. And you know, in a jet plane, you land that sucker and you do maintenance when that happens. So that proves Alex Jones is a liar on that one, or he's misinformed. It's not in the fuel. They have actual nozzles. I've watched what it is they have in the way the nozzles are positioned, it gives it this swirl pattern, this DNA swirl, and it quickly well, they used to just lay a flat line. Then they went and installed nozzles that are offset, and it causes this spiral DNA helix spray, and it really spreads it out much better than they were 10 years ago. They've advanced their technologies now, but it doesn't dissipate so fast that we don't see exactly what's going on. Okay. YouTubers, it's HatrickPenry, 8:38 a.m. on the 27th of August, and I'm going to slow frame through on Intellicast because I'm picking up some interference, some rings again. This will be over Topeka, Kansas, Omaha, Nebraska, Iowa, in that area. Watch as I go through, because what you want to take note of are these little ring-shaped things. They'll disappear and they'll form a little circular thing, and what that's doing is more than likely picking up HAARP, as that's what we're, and this is going to pull the Isaac directly up through that freaking sinkhole with all the radiation and stuff in it, and make no mistake about that, that's where it's headed. Let's have a little look here. Okay, you begin to see these rings forming right here. What we have here is, looks like multiples. We've got one coming from this way, and it looks like another offset, like they're bouncing two right in the same position. Let's frame through, and you'll notice with this stuff, what caught my eye is it'll show for a minute, then whoosh, it disappears off the screen. Everything else on Intellicast flows and moves and has a particular pattern to it, and nothing out of the ordinary. In other words, a giant section of cloud doesn't just disappear within a second or two for no reason. That's impossible. It takes time for any change to happen. Okay, see, now they're almost gone, but you can still see tips of the rings right coming through right there. And so this isn't as obvious as some of the ones I've posted up, but once you know what to look for, man, your eye will catch these things every time, and you'll see them. And again, why is it during these storms that we see these rings, and then other times when there's not really heavy weather out there, it's clear and everything looks normal? It's just at particular times. I don't buy the coincidence. I'm not a coincidence theorist anymore. I'm really not. I know what's going on here, and they're using weather modification, as William S. Cohen said in 1997, that they're even now, eco-terrorists are using electromagnetic engineering. That's what our own five-star general, okay, William S. Cohen in 1997. Most of you already know about that. I'm beating a dead horse with this, but some of you who are new to this and don't believe in weather modification engineering, or believe we have that technological capability, you really should spend 30 minutes of your time. 30 minutes. 30 minutes, man. That's all it'll take if you dig in with an open mind. If your mind is closed, you can never even research in that direction. You will never know. You have closed yourself to that avenue of thought forever. So please be open-minded, folks. At least so you can be aware, and you'll believe more that you need to prepare with some water and some food or whatever, like, just to be safe. Just to be safe. Let me see if I can get it to go frame again. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look at it one more time. And I'm going to post this up with a track of the hurricane, and this is going to go into an overall, when I'm done, I will compile all these videos into one big video on Hurricane Isaac and show you how they can steer it, they can intensify it. And if you look at a video I've got where off the west coast, chemtrail planes create a vortex, you know, you really got to believe they can cause a spinning, a whirling motion, a gyration motion with the atmosphere, with the weather, with the condensation, the moisture, with the air. They can create, very likely so now, I'm beginning to believe, they can create a hurricane. It may take some time, and you may have to do it during a particular time of year when the waters are warm and it's more, it's easier to create the hurricane. In other words, if it's cold water during winter and it's off time of year, it'd be very difficult. If during the right time of the year you try to do your manipulation with weather modification, it's only exponentially increasing your effects and your ability to alter the hurricane or the weather or whatever it is. So here you go, folks. We got some strange disappearing lines. Again, note the ring, the uncanny ring. And if you look, this is centering somewhere right around Omaha, man. That's where it's at. Now let me back out. Let's have a quick look at the overall large picture. I've also got the earthquakes showing up in here too, and we're being hammered and rattled in California right now with earthquakes. So keep in mind, again, this is damning evidence against our unconstitutional government. We are providing you systematically with rational, well-thought, well-prepared evidence over years of time. There's a total silence amongst the presidential candidates about this subject. They will not speak to the chemtrails, they will not speak to the weather modification, nor they speak to the fact that HAARP is cranked up and running right now. As I've seen a couple posts this morning, people are watching the HAARP and it's up and running. They're juicing it with power. A guy said this morning more power they've ever juiced it to. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. But we got a ring right here. We got earthquakes here. We got a hurricane here. Hey, that's a trifecta, folks. HatrickPenry, over and out. Just logging in the acts of evil. The acts of evil. There it is. Anyway, Michigan. Look at that ringing ding, 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 ding. 8/27, 2012, 9:54 p.m. And this is in Michigan. Let me back out. See the whole picture, it's on the tip. Up near the Great Lakes region. Here we go. And I'll zoom in again. Let it play through in slow speed. They don't last long, they disappear. See, it coalesces in about 10 to 15 minutes. About 10 minutes it takes its form. And then they just totally blank out. Yep, that's that. Another ring, Michigan. Over and out. YouTubers, HatrickPenry here, and this is the 27th Hurricane Isaac, or it's strengthening into a hurricane. Cat 1, going to be Cat 2. It's in the Gulf now. And I'm watching in telecast, and here we go up near Bismarck. Is that North Dakota or something? Look at these rings showing up here. They got HARP going off right now, and what they're probably doing is lifting the ionosphere and pulling this system in the direction they want to pull it. Let me go pause it and let me cycle through one at a time so you get a nice look at the ring. Well, number one, you got this little ringy thing shows up right here and it disappears all of a sudden. That's how you know something's not right. Come on. Okay, there's the big one. Let me go through each frame, please. Oh, that's weak. There it is. Let me stop on it, fool. There. Oh, my gosh. Okay, you gotta admit that is very strange. Ring-like formation. There's two of them here now. I already documented some earlier south of here. There it is right there. So again, what we're seeing here is tropical storm and electromagnetic engineering and the chemtrailing, as I've already documented in Central Florida. And if you saw the section I highlighted from the atmoswashington.edu website, south, east, and east of Haiti, they were really checking it, cross-checking it with the chicken scratches down there. So that's why Haiti got hit so hard. They really got it in for Haiti is all I can tell you. So just documenting, it is 5:35 p.m., 8/27/2012. Over and out.